All right, good day, Eckerd Connects staff. Tiffany Francillian, Vice President of Human Resources. Welcome to Let's Connect. If you are new to our forum, a big welcome. And those of you who are rejoining, welcome back. While we're settling, please join us using your phone and head over to menti.com to participate in the opening question here in the Mentimeter. The user code is available for you at the top of your screen. I'll give everyone a moment to go ahead and join us on menti.com. Please use your phone, and the user code is at the top of our screen. All right, so in a moment here, we should see the Mentimeter question. And the question is, what's your favorite summer activity as a kid? I'll give everyone a minute to submit their responses. All right, we have some results coming in. Swimming, summer camp. Is that okay? Camping, traveling. I thought I saw someone said going to bed. Did I going to the pool? Excuse me. Vacation, baseball, going to the beach, reading. Reading is my favorite on the beach or under a tree, enjoying the sun and the summer weather. Fishing, hiking, amusement park. I love a good amusement park in the summer. That is traditional as a kid. I'm sure there are probably a few people looking forward to not checking some emails for a few days as well. Great responses. Well, thanks everyone for joining us today. Whether you're joining from a Job Corps campus, a workforce development office, a residential program, a child and family services location, or our support center, we are grateful you are here. I will now turn it over to our fearless leader, Michael Smith. He's going to spend some time with us today, reflecting on his 1 year anniversary as president and CEO. Michael?
Hey, thank you, Tiffany. Good afternoon, everybody. It is good to see your faces. I think we'll remove this slide of me since you know what I look like. But it's wonderful to see you. It's good to be back. It was April 2nd or 3rd, I think, since we had our last Let's Connect forum, and we've had some good times since then. We've had a lot of holidays. We've had Mother's Day and Father's Day. So if you didn't hear it from me directly, thank you to all the mothers and the fathers. Thank you for your sacrifice to all of those kids. Thank you for all the extra hours that you put into work, being away from your families to make a difference in the lives of so many others. You see it, it matters each and every day. We've had Memorial Day, so thank you to all of those families who lost loved ones fighting for this country. And we also just celebrated Juneteenth, where we recognize that this country is still working to perfect itself. We didn't start perfect. We still aren't perfect. And I am glad that I get to work alongside all of you to continue to bend that moral arc of freedom towards justice. So it is wonderful to see you. As Tiffany mentioned, we'll spend some time today. I'll spend some time today with you reflecting a little bit on my year anniversary. I cannot believe June 16th was a year. I don't know about you. The older I get, the more quickly these years fly by. It has been a year. We're going to hear an incredible story of impact from one of the families that we serve, which I know will be the highlight of our time together today. We're going to share some updates on a few organizational initiatives, and we're going to celebrate some outstanding members of our team. As I said, it's hard to believe it's been a year since I joined the Eckerd Connects first board meeting. I think I joined on June 16th, and a week later was my first board meeting in Chicago. And not too long after that, I had my first town hall meeting with all of you. I remember trying to learn all the acronyms. I am still trying to learn many of our acronyms, trying to understand all of our programs and really figure out how all of the pieces work together. Over the past year, I've had the chance to spend time with many of you visiting campuses, workforce centers, residential programs, our community-based services, and meeting the extraordinary staff across the country. And here's what I've learned in a year. Eckerd Connects is filled with people that deeply care about this mission. We are filled with people who show up every day because they believe that young people, adults, and families that we serve deserve opportunity, support, and someone that is willing to believe in them. And over the last year, we've done a lot together. We've strengthened our foundation as an organization. We've invested in leadership and infrastructure. We've expanded our visibility and our influence nationally so more people know what Eckerd Connects is and how we can support them. We've increased employee engagement and satisfaction, and we've continued. The most important thing that we've done is we've continued delivering meaningful outcomes for those that we served. And I went in and asked the team to dig up some of our numbers to show what that looks like. On the Job Corps front, 87% of our Job Corps participants are placed in careers, higher education, or military after the program. 87%. 76% of our clients in the workforce side are employed in post-secondary education or military service 1 year after the program. And we all know the ups and downs and the bumps and hurdles, especially in this job market that come up. And almost 80% of our folks are still employed or in post-secondary paths a year after they work with us. And then when I look at our children and family services team, 95% of our clients are still successful 1 year after program completion. 95%. And I'll dig in deep with our North Carolina folks. 91% of our clients completing our North Carolina residential programs have no new adjudications 1 year after program involvement. That is why we do the work every day. We are not just involved in activities. We are not just showing up and checking boxes. We are changing and transforming lives. And that's why I am so fired up and excited to be here 1 year later. At the same time, in the midst of all of that, there is still important work ahead. We continue to operate in an environment where federal priorities and funding streams are evolving, and evolving is the best way I could talk about it. Across the country, there's an increasing focus on shifting authority and decision-making closer to the states and local communities, which isn't a bad thing, but it represents a shift for us and how we do our work. And organizations like ours, in the midst of all of this change, are having to make sure that we remain agile and prepared to adapt. We also know that the needs of the young people, the adults, and the families that we serve continue to grow more complex. Mental health challenges, social isolation, housing instability, food insecurity, workforce disruptions, and other barriers are increasingly interconnected. And the solutions that we put into action require more than a single program or service. They require collaboration, innovation, and a willingness to think differently about how we support our people. That's why the work that we're doing to strengthen our organization matters so much. We aren't simply preparing for the challenges of today. We're building the capacity, the muscle to respond to the challenges of tomorrow. And our success isn't just about programs, it's about people. It's actually more about people than it is about programs. Because when I have met with our funders all across the country, the reason they tell us that they keep investing in Eckerd, it's because of our people. It's about our people, it's about our relationships, it's about our culture. And I could not be more proud to see how we've begun to break down silos. So we're not just Job Corps, we're not just workforce, we're not just children and family services. We are a united Eckerd using every tool in the toolkit to support the folks that we serve. And to that end, with our people being at the center of everything, we have been taking even more opportunities to listen in small groups and big groups. And just recently, we had our second employee pulse survey in recent years. And I am so happy to report that nearly 70% of you shared their voices in the pulse survey. So if you complain to your coworker, if you complain to your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your husband or your wife and your kids, and you don't tell Tiffany and you don't tell me what we need to do better, then we can't change. I just want to say thank you. I know how busy you are. Thank you for taking the time to do the pulse survey. It was so wonderful to see that feedback. And by the way, that's nearly triple the amount of you that participated in the survey from last year. So thank you for that. And I know Tiffany will be sharing some of those results soon. So when it comes to our work, we are not finished, but we are moving in the right direction. And perhaps the best reminder of why the work that we do matters is the story that we are about to hear. So please welcome your colleagues, Anna and Nicole, to lead a conversation that showcases the impact that each of you has every day. Anna and Nicole, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Michael. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining. One of the things I never want us to lose sight of is that behind every number, every report, every contract, and every strategic plan is a human story. Today, we're joined by Christina Zillow. Christina is the mother of Colin, a fifth grade student who participated in Eckerd Connects High Five school-based program at Roy Allen Elementary School in Melbourne, Florida. Like many parents, Christina was concerned about challenges her son was facing both at home and at school. Colin struggled with anger management, communication, stress, and building relationships with peers and teachers. Through his participation in our services, Colin learned healthy coping skills, improved his decision-making, strengthened relationships, and improved academically. Perhaps most importantly, he gained confidence and developed a connection with a trusted adult who helped him navigate some of life's challenges. Today, Christina has graciously agreed to share her family's experiences with us. Christina, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Tell us a little about your family and Colin before he became involved with Eckerd Connects.
He was diagnosed with ADHD, anxiety, and depression, and we struggled for quite a few years. We had several different therapists. When he was younger, he would go to these meetings and I'd be like, oh, what did you learn today? And it was all about, oh, I played with this toy, or oh, I made this picture, and wasn't quite grasping the tools they were trying to give him. We furthered along with PCIT therapy. If you're not familiar with it, it's parent-child interaction therapy. So I did it with him. It almost made things worse. And, I was just so frustrated because it just didn't seem like any of the services out there were working for him. It obviously put a strain on my marriage, and it was affecting my younger son. I had to compensate for that. And it created kind of a really stressful household. And he was struggling, like you said, with some social skills and with school. And it just took, it took some time for us to kind of find the right spot.
And it sounds like you've definitely noticed some of those challenges when it comes to how things were going with Colin at home and at school. So what changes did you begin to notice after he became involved in the program?
Not bad. It started right away. When we finished the PCIT therapy, it was about a month before we met Nicole. And, he was old enough at that point to want to talk to him about some of his decisions for his life. And he was so resistant on seeing any other therapist. He didn't want to talk to anybody. The Eckerd program was actually recommended to him in the previous year, and he wrote on top of the paper, "I do not want this." And we met Nicole prior to school starting. It was the first adult that Colin looked in the eye. It was the first adult, even including family members, that he hugged. And he actually was really, really excited to meet with her and to spend that time and learn with her.
Was there a particular moment when you realized things were improving?
Yes, so he was struggling with the teacher he had at the time, and we were looking into changing him into another classroom. So he'd been with Nicole for like almost 4 months at that point. And he knew I was going to the principal, who she's wonderful. She knows him and she's been amazing. But she called him into our meeting, which he wasn't expected. And I, of course, right away, I was really nervous because I know how he gets. And he sat there and she asked him questions and he answered them eloquently and with confidence and looked at her. He didn't put his foot under the table to reach my foot like he did when he would get nervous. He didn't reach for my hand. He looked at me, but he didn't look at me with that look like answer for me. And it was just such an amazing moment to see the progression of being able to explain what he needed, to explain it calmly, to have rational answers. And when he left the meeting, I sat with the principal and we both cried because we both just saw how far he came. And then right away I'm calling Nicole, "You're never gonna believe it," because it was just and then we cried some more. Yeah, but it was just for all of the anger and all of the frustration. And right away we would go to meltdowns, crying, locking himself in, not wanting to talk. It was just an amazing moment for me to see him to where I knew where he could be versus the years we have been struggling.
It's certainly rewarding to hear and see when you see the impact of what's happening as a result of those services. How has this experience impacted your family as a whole?
Colin has become more open, maybe sometimes a little too open, but he's become more open with his feelings and not being as afraid to tell me stuff. Along with this, when we changed him, he had the confidence to go into a new classroom, a new environment, which normally would have made him even more withdrawn. But we started doing homework without fighting. He maybe only needed to be told 5 times instead of 17 to do something. But there's still meltdowns, but they're more controllable for him and for me. And we know that stopping point. We remember, what has Miss Nicole taught you? What did you learn when you were in your high five group? And his relationship with his younger brother has gotten better. I feel like his younger brother is more seen now because he's not being overshadowed by all of these meltdowns and screamings and fits of anger. And we've actually been able to do more things as a family without all of that additional stress. And he actually was upset that school was over because it meant he wouldn't see Nicole, he wouldn't see his friends, he wouldn't have that consistency. And, you know, it's been a different kind of summer for us. It's been a lot more manageable.
That's great to hear. It really tugs at the heart to hear how much it's impacted you all. What would you say to the staff members across Eckerd Connects who work with children, youth, and families every day?
First of all, thank you. I know this is your job, but it's also a calling, and working with children, especially ones that are having these kinds of troubles, can be extremely challenging. And we were able to go to therapists and all these different programs, and none of them worked. So I'm just so appreciative to what you all do. And it's everybody across the board, not even the ones that just work directly with the children. The support from this particular office has been amazing. I've gotten to know everyone. Everyone's always there for help, not just for him, but for me when I was struggling what to do for him. You know, it was the guidance that you can give us. Sometimes as parents, we get really overloaded in information and it's not all the right information. the kids love Nicole. My youngest son cannot wait to be in her program next year. My other son was upset with me because he couldn't come give her a big hug and say hello. I had numerous things I had to tell her for him. But they all, like, even the other children at the school who I know who are friends with my son, they look forward to going to this program. They look forward to what they've learned. They all get excited when they see Nicole. The programs that they have for them on a pretty much monthly basis are just such a great opportunity for them to not just get out and hang out, but to apply the skills that they're learning in this real life settings. Like we went bowling and it was talking about the challenges if you maybe don't get a strike, and how to, it was really all about supporting your friend and your teammate. And it was just amazing to watch these kids. And some of them have social skills issues and they're bonding and being with each other. And I really want to say one of the most important takeaways that I had from this program, and I apologize, even the smallest change you could make for a child might be the biggest impact, not just for them, but for their family. Seeing my child, I say it all the time, seeing him be able to look adults in the eye after 8 years, 9 years of not doing it, it was just, it was just, it was really just the biggest thing. And I know sometimes some of the children that you're with can see a big challenge, but take it small by small, because those small ones really, they really make an impact on not just the children, but their families. And we just appreciate so much everything that Nicole has done, that Jack has done, and everybody who works here, because it really felt like a village when I was struggling to find that village.
Thank you so much, Christina. I definitely hear you, and I genuinely appreciate your feedback. It means more than you know, quite honestly. And I think we all know that childhood is hard enough as it is, and just to have the right supports in place makes a world of difference for sure. And thank you so much, Nicole, for your work with Colin. And thank you again, Christina, for taking the time to be here with us today.
Thank you. I'm honored. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
I wish we were in a big room so we could do a big group hug. There are lots of tears that are in this big virtual room now. So please go to the chat and let's give some love to Miss Christina for sharing her story with us today. And let's also give some love to Nicole, who represents the best of Eckerd and what we all strive to be. Nicole, thank you for that. Christina, I wrote down your quote, even the smallest change may be the biggest impact that you can make, not only for that child, but the whole family. We are going to make those small changes every day, and we are going to think about you. So thank you for letting us be a part of your family and spending this time with us today. So I'm gonna continue moving us through our agenda today. I see the love continuing to come up in the chat. So thank you for doing that. We'll make sure that we continue to share those. I think whether we're talking about a child learning new skills, or if we're talking about a family overcoming challenges, or an organization that's trying to improve, progress comes from learning. Progress comes from adapting and continuing to move forward. And that's what our next topic is about. So over the next few weeks, you're going to hear about a new initiative called Fail Forward. So you'll actually get some more detail about this after this meeting is over. So now, before anyone gets nervous, let me assure you, this is not about lowering expectations, because that is not what I do, and that is not what we do. It's not about accepting poor performance. It is about creating a culture where learning matters. And the reality is, innovation requires experimentation. Impact requires experimentation. Not every idea is going to work perfectly. Not every decision will produce the outcomes that we expect. But what we know is the organizations that grow and improve aren't the ones that never make mistakes. They're the ones that learn quickly, that share what they learn, and continuously improve. So this initiative, Fail Forward, is about encouraging thoughtful risk-taking, continuous learning, and a willingness to try new approaches when they can help us better serve the people that depend on us. The difference between organizations that grow and organizations that fade away is often not if they fail, it's whether they learn and adapt. I think about Amazon and how it now, some of us are old enough to remember this. Some of us, I don't know, Miss Nicole, if you're old enough to remember this. Nicole, our CFO, is, but maybe not the other Nicole. But Amazon moved from selling books online. They were a bookseller online to becoming one of the world's largest retailers and most successful companies in the history of the world. March of Dimes, the organization that we all know and love, evolved from fighting polio. And guess what? We kind of cured polio. But they didn't go away. So they said, you know what? We're done with this piece, but now we're going to improve the health of babies and families. I think about Kodak and I think about Blockbuster, who had these powerful brands, but they waited too long to pivot when technology changed and customers no longer needed their VHS tapes and their 35 millimeter film. I had a Blockbuster card, by the way, till the last store closed in my neighborhood. So what our fail forward policy will look like in practice. One, we want people to speak up early. If something is not working, if it feels risky or it could be improved, we want folks to raise it as quickly as possible. It's a sign of responsibility, not failure. We want folks to try thoughtful new approaches. That is going to be encouraged. When teams are using good judgment, following required rules, and act in service to our mission, not every effort has to go perfectly to be valued. That's just not realistic. Failing forward means learning fast. When outcomes fall short, the expectations to reflect, adjust, share what we learned, and improve, not hide or find a way to place blame. In many cases, we may be able to celebrate failures because it could be a springboard to something even greater. Leaders have a responsibility to create trust, so managers should respond constructively, set clear goals, really thinking about making it safe for staff to ask questions, raise concerns, and offer ideas. And we're going to build this into our work. This is going to show up in performance conversations. It's going to show up in manager coaching and development plans and staff recognition. So yes, we will be celebrating some failures and some failing forward. It's going to show up in training and team debriefs. And so this fail forward, learn fast idea will become a part of our everyday culture, not just words and a policy. So this is going to be a pilot. We'll test it out. We'll see what we learn and we'll make course corrections along the way. And so I'm going to look forward to hearing from all of you how it's making a difference in your work in the coming months. Another area where we're focused on improvement is how we work together as an organization. So many of you have heard us talk about the spoke model. I hope everybody knows about our spokes. And the spokes exist for a simple reason. None of us can accomplish our mission alone. It was designed to improve collaboration, to clarify decision-making, and to ensure that expertise from across the organization is brought into important conversations. Recently, we have taken a step back and brought more clarity to how we lead and make decisions, really being explicit about the role of the spokes, the types of decisions we have, and how teams know when to act and when to elevate. At the same time, we've moved to more clearly define public affairs, how we engage with our communities, our partners, and policymakers to support our mission. We've also leaned into cross-functional collaboration by expanding our executive leadership team. I think when I got here, there were 3 people on our executive leadership team, and now there are, I believe, 9 or 10. By the way, I think it was 3 men. Not that that was bad, but now I'm happy to report that our executive leadership team is 60% women and 30% people of color, because the survey shows that we should look like in leadership the people that we serve. And so I am excited about that. And, you know, why does this matter to all of you? It matters because when roles are clear and decisions happen at the right level, we spend less time navigating process and more time delivering for the people who count on us. These aren't dramatic changes, they're clarifications to support a culture shift. Our goal is to create more transparency, more collaboration, and less confusion about how decisions are made, Ultimately, the spoke model is intended to help all of us work better together in support of the people that we serve. So now we've intentionally left room at the end of today's Let's Connect forum for questions. But before we get to any questions you might have, I want to turn it back to Tiffany to celebrate our most recent Heart of the Wheel recipients. So Tiffany, back to you.
Thanks, Michael. One of my favorite parts of Let's Connect is recognizing team members who truly embody the heart of Eckerd Connects. The Heart of the Wheel Award celebrates employees who lead with purpose, uplift others, and make a meaningful difference in the lives of people we serve and the colleagues we work alongside every day. Today, we're excited to recognize our most recent Heart of the Wheel recipients. Now, I'll need some help from the audience as we recognize these outstanding individuals. So please feel free to share an emoji in the chat as we congratulate each recipient. Our first category is a support center recipient is Danielle Brunn. Danielle was recognized for her exceptional ability to bring structure, clarity, and consistency to complex work, whether supporting major organizational transitions, strengthening compliance efforts, or helping teams navigate challenges. She is known as someone who makes the work better for everyone around her. Her nominator shared that her willingness to step aside her normal responsibilities to support others is a true example of teamwork and collaboration. Danielle is not here with us today, but Danielle, we celebrate you and thank you for all of the work that you have done here at Eckerd Connects. Our workforce development category recipient is Laverne Wood. As center manager at South Carolina Works Charleston, Laverne has built a culture defined by excellence, innovation, and connection. She is known for bringing people together, strengthening partnerships, and creating an environment where staff, partners, and clients feel valued and supported. Her nominator shared that her leadership has transformed the center and strengthened the way it serves the community. Laverne, thank you for your leadership and commitment to empowering others. I'd love to turn it over to you for a few words.
Greetings all, and thank you. Why Eckerd? It is because every day we have the opportunity to make a meaningful difference in the lives of individuals, families, and community that we serve. Eckerd Connects is more than just an organization. It's a mission-driven team committed to creating pathways to success and empowering people to overcome challenges and reach their full potential. What inspires me most is seeing the impact of our work firsthand, whether we're helping gain confidence, someone achieving a goal, or taking a positive step towards a brighter future. I am honored to be a part of an organization that values compassion, innovation, and service. I am also honored to work alongside dedicated colleagues who share that commitment. Thank you.
Laverne, thank you and congratulations. Our Children and Family Services recipient is Whitney Hack. Whitney serves as a special education and English teacher at the Boys Residential Academy and has dedicated herself to helping young people discover strengths they may not see in themselves. Her nominator described her as an exceptional educator whose passion for student success shines through in every aspect of her work. Through creativity, compassion, and persistence, she helps students build confidence and believe in their potential. Whitney, thank you for the impact you make every day. Whitney, we'd love to hear a few words from you.
Hi. I love working for Eckerd. I was here in the wilderness days and I came back to work now. And I mean, I love the impact I have. You get to see it every single day. I still have students, no matter how long ago it was, that contact me, ask for help, ask, to put me on a resume, things like that. And that really makes a difference. Like I said, in what you just quoted, There's really no bigger impact I think you can have than making someone's life possible because you see something that they can't see themselves in their future, or that they're at this point, they don't even think they're going to have a future. So it's a huge impact, and I couldn't imagine working anywhere else for that, because these are the kids I love, the ones no one expects anything out of. And what greater surprise than to see, you get to see that transition from when they walk in scared, confused, angry, hurt, and then you see them kind of change throughout shift, and then when they leave, they're doing much better, pretty mature, making some decent choices, and they're going to have a future.
And that's why we show up every day, Whitney. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you.
Our Job Corps category recipient is Dana Gigler. Dana is the Critical Technical Trades Manager at Pittsburgh Job Corps. Dana is recognized for her dedication to helping students develop the skills, confidence, and opportunities that lead to lifelong success. Her nominator shared that students and staff alike know they can count on Dana for guidance, support, and leadership. Her compassion, accountability, and belief in others make a lasting impact across campus. Dana, thank you for helping transform lives through your work. Dana, please share a few words with us.
Thank you. It's an honor to be a recipient of this award, but I work with an amazing team here at the Pittsburgh Job Corps campus, and being a part of the Eckerd community really makes a difference. It's wonderful to be a part of a community where we all share the same goal, and that goal is to help our students succeed. We have the pleasure of seeing our students do things that, just like the other one candidate said, that they never thought possible. We're the first people that they see when they get their driver's license, or when they're learning a trade and they take their first blood draw, or they're cooking in culinary and they can't wait to have you taste whatever it is that they made, is what makes going to work wonderful every day. And Eckerd does a great job of making sure that our students succeed, and that safety is the goal, and making sure that we have all the assets that we need to help our students succeed. So thank you.
Dana, thank you, and thank you for your service. Congratulations. Thank you to all 4 of our Heart of the Wheel recipients. Your commitment to our mission, your colleagues, and the individuals and families we serve truly inspires all of us. Let's give one more big round of applause for all of our recipients. So next up, we will introduce our Serving with Heart program. One of the things that makes Eckerd Connects special is our people. Every day across the country, our employees show up with compassion, dedication, and commitment to helping others reach their full potential. Today, I am excited to introduce a new recognition program called Serving with Heart. While many of you are familiar with Heart of the Wheel, which recognizes employees who are making an impact right now, Serving with Heart is designed to celebrate something equally important: our employees' long-term commitment to Eckerd Connects and the people we serve. This program will recognize service milestones across the organization and honor those who have dedicated years, and in some cases, decades, of their careers to our mission. Every year of service represents relationships built, lives changed, challenges overcome, and countless moments where someone chooses to make a difference. We know that our success as an organization is built on the dedication of people who continue to show up, support one another, and serve our clients with heart. So over the next several weeks, we will recognize several employees that have reached significant service milestones and thank them for their commitment and impact they have made on Eckerd Connects over the years. Now, I'd love to pass it over to Trish Jones, who will facilitate any questions you might have submitted in our Q&A or chat box. Trish?
Thanks, Tiffany. So if anyone has any questions, they can submit them over to the Q&A section. So if you go up to the top of your screen and you see something that looks like a little question mark and a circle, you can type in your questions there. Jenny and I will monitor any questions that you might have. You can also raise your hand, the virtual raise your hand button up at the top. Again, if you see a hand up at the top, the icon, you can click there and raise your hand. Then we can have you come off mute. But again, if any questions that you might have for Michael or Tiffany or anyone that spoke today, please feel free to, again, type your questions in or raise your hand. This is the awkward silence of the portion of the event that I apparently have to facilitate. But, oh, I think someone does have a question. Juan?
Hi, thank you for having me. Michael, last time I was on here,
And can you speak up a little bit, Juan? It's a little hard to hear you.
sorry, there we go. Is it better?
There we go. Yep.
Perfect. Last time I was on here, Michael, I had a quote from Mr. Baldwin, and I had another quote, actually two quotes that I wanted to read you of his. The paradox of education is precisely this, that as one begins to become conscious, one begins to examine this society in which he is being educated. And the second one is, those who say it can't be done are usually interrupted by others doing it. Those two quotes really hold for me because that kind of seems like what Eckerd is all about. You know, those who need that education, those who are wanting to thrive and wanting to change their lives are the ones who are doing it. And working with this company has really helped me see that. And I just wanted to see, you know, what your thoughts were on those quotes and how they've impacted you.
Juan, those were such great setups. People are going to think that we planned this. We did not. So thank you for bringing that wisdom and enlightenment to this call. I think on the first quote, it makes me think about the solver work that we're doing. You know, we talk about it as solver, which all of the folks at Eckerd are solving problems every day. But I think of this more as our leap into systemic solutions, right? Like how do we we talk about reforming systems, but those systems were never designed to work for the people that we serve in the first place. So in many cases, we have to reimagine, we have to disrupt. And so I think that first quote really helps us to think about that. And I think that second quote, we could stamp on the top of our fail forward policy. Like, you know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And this idea that we're just going to sit there while the world is being disrupted all around us, we're going to go the way of the dodo, right? And so there are going to be people that are going to move and continue to try things and break things, and we want to be at the front of that line. Because we've been doing the work. We've been working with parents. We've been working with students. We know where the pain points are, where the pressure points are. So we should also be the people to figure out how to reimagine and renew the work that we're doing across all of our verticals. So thank you for bringing Mr. Baldwin's incredible words into this conversation.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Juan. Any additional questions that you might have for Michael or anyone else? All right, so I'm going to pull up the screen again, and we'll wait for some additional questions to come into the Q&A. But in the meantime, go back to menti.com, and there's another question that will appear on your screen in 1 second. In one word, what will you take away from today's Let's Connect forum? So again, you can go to menti.com, pull in that, type in that code 7297-2948 if you haven't already. And again, if you still have questions, please feel free to put those into the Q&A box, or again, raise your hand. But as you can see, authenticity, hope, impact, dedication, positivity, connection, connected, perseverance, small change matters.
I did small change matters. I cheated with one word. I apologize, Trish.
I did see that that was a run on, but that's okay. A hashtag maybe. Oh, I think someone may have their hand raised. Rosetta?
Yes, I just wanted to say thank you for making it okay for individuals to be innovative, to fail and learn. That's one of the lessons I've been teaching my children for quite some time. And I've always told them, you never learn anything until you try. And if you don't try, you definitely never going to learn. You're never going to fail. Failing is not truly a bad thing. It's how we learn. That's how we got 409.
Yes.
So that's how we got 409 as a cleaner, because he failed 408 times beforehand.
Yes.
So I always remember
same
that
on
story.
Thomas Edison. Like there's
Yes.
so many examples. Yes. Yes. And if you like anyone spent any time in the Bay Area, like startups, they talk about their failures like they're badges of honor. Yeah, like I started 10 companies. They didn't go well, but there was something with this one, and my next one is going to be it. And so, we're not going to fail with the kids that we serve. We're going to hold them close. We're going to follow all the rules and regulations, but we're going to dream big, and we're going to shoot for the moon. And when we land, in the clouds, we're going to be all right with that. We're going to celebrate. Thanks for saying that, Rosetta.
Thank you. So folks can continue to do Minty. And again, if you have any additional questions, you can type those into the Q&A. Or,
Trish,
yep. Oh,
Trish,
sorry, Jenny.
There's a question in the Q&A for Michael.
Great.
Michael, it says, from Albrina, she says, as we embrace the Fail Forward initiative and broader cultural shift, how will leadership intentionally model these behaviors in their day-to-day?
That is a great question. It's actually one of the reasons I talked about towards the end of my remarks about Fail Forward, how we're going to incorporate this into our culture. So we started off with a policy, and I went back to the team and I said, policy's nice, but if this isn't showing up as a question in our performance reviews, it doesn't matter. If this isn't showing up as one of our new Heart of the Wheel awards, it doesn't matter. If this doesn't show up in the training that Josh and Tiffany and that team is leading, it doesn't matter. Our next Let's Connect forum, we're going to bring in a couple experts who write about this. And so that's going to be showing up. I also think, we just had our board meeting where the Eckerd family came in as well. And it's so wonderful to have Jack and Ruth's kids and grandkids still actively involved and investing in our work. And one of the things that all of them talk about is let's try things. If it doesn't work, it's okay. Jim Swan, who I think is Jack and Ruth's oldest son, from the first time we met, he's like, Dad tried things all the time. Dad tried a solar company. It didn't work, but he gave us kids some money and we would practice with things and sometimes it would fail. But that's how he built one of the biggest pharmacy chains that had 3,000 stores across the country, because he tried some things and he practiced and he failed. And so we're going to bring that up. We've tried with our Eckerd Connects app. It's worked in some ways. It hasn't worked in some other ways, but that was great that we tried. And so we're going to continue to have that kind of approach in the work that we do.
Thanks, Michael. Any additional questions, Jenny, that are coming over Q&A before I maybe turn it over to Michael for any closing remarks?
Nope, not right now.
Great. Thank you, Jenny. Michael?
This has been an incredibly efficient Let's Connect forum, which I think is appropriate to kick off our summer. So thank you to Tiffany and to Trish and to Ray and Jenny and everybody who was involved in putting this together. Thank you to all of our speakers today. And most importantly, thank you to all of us. I know how busy you are. I have spent time with you. I know that there may be children and families that are literally knocking on your door right now. So thank you for taking this hour to spend with all of us. And I just think what makes Eckerd Connect special, it is not our org chart. It isn't our programs. It's not even our strategy. It is you, our extraordinary people. It's you who show up every day believing in the potential of others, even when those individuals may not see it in themselves. And that's actually just something that we heard from one of our parents at our Louisiana Wraparound programs, that our staff at our Louisiana Wraparound program believed in their kid before their kid believed in themselves. It is the willingness to work together, support one another, and stay focused on our mission, even during times of change and uncertainty. The stories that we heard today, the employees that were recognized, and the work that is happening across this organization every day are reminders that what we do matters. So thank you for your commitment, for your compassion and your passion, and for everything that you do to help create brighter futures for the youth, the adults, and the families that we serve. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a wonderful summer. Use your PTO. Take care of yourself. Fill your cup. Enjoy time with your friends and families. Eat all of that wonderful summer food. Soak up that sun. And I look forward to connecting with you again really soon. Have a good one. Bye. Bye, everybody.